Greetings, I'm Dike Rostant. Welcome back to the TTT News. And we continue to look at the move back to physical spaces, and we're going in depth on the world of virtual assistants. We're doing that with the founder and the CEO of Tiny Tasks Services, Ms. Nicole Regis-Roberts. Welcome, Nicole. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm all right, thank you. Thank you for making the time. When we say virtual assistants, though, there are a few things that can flash through our minds. So when you say virtual assistant, what do you mean?
So virtual assistants are independent contractors. We work remotely from anywhere. We mainly deal with admin, but there are so many different types of virtual assistants that operate. So it's just not admin alone. You have social media, you have accounting, marketing, so many.
Well, you know, I want to ask, what type of virtual assistant are you?
So I'm strictly admin. So I deal with all the administrative backend for your business. So if you have emails that need to be answered, if you have email inbox that needs to be cleared, calendar management, data entry, typing, anything admin, I deal with it.
Nicole, you started to talk that talk and I get a little nervous because even this year for 2022, there was a so-called, if you want to lose weight, go through my phone. Trust issues, confidentiality. What are some of those issues that arise when we hear, okay, well, answer my email? What is that like? How is there something that is worked out from jump to say, okay, well, this is the scope of works, and there's this understanding? Take me through that process.
So in our onboarding process, we definitely have contracts. That's our first step when we're dealing with our clients. In the contract, it will have that all the information will be kept confidential. At the end of the task or the end of the contract, all information will definitely be deleted. We have softwares that will keep all emails and passwords under lock and key.
Software like what? And how did you find out about this? How did you get into this realm of virtual assistants?
So looking for extra money, looking to make extra income, and not having a creative skill, because baking is not my thing, cooking is not my thing, I'm not good with my hands. So talking to a friend, he was like, why don't you try and make money off of what you already do? Because I'm a full-time public servant with the TTPS, I'm a clerk typist. And doing research, found out about virtual assistants and went down the rabbit hole. And there are so many softwares and apps that can help you keep organized and keep your passwords under lock and key. There are so many things. So that's how I got into virtual assistant.
Two things kind of jump out to me. I'll ask the first one. Full-time public servant. How does that mesh with being a virtual assistant? How do you make those two things work?
Early morning, late nights. So the good thing with being a virtual assistant is completely flexible. You market your own time. So what I would normally do clients work like before 7 o'clock, after 4, sometimes during my lunch hours. Saturdays definitely is a work day for me. So that's the good thing with being a virtual assistant, is very flexible with your time.
And the second thing, you're a virtual assistant now, you're making it work, but you're also a full-time public servant. You'll find public servants could have the potential to be a little vexed with you. And to say, well, wait now,
we have bad name, We have a real bad name, Public servants have a bad name. And not all is the same. I can be sure of that. But I work with the TTPS, so I think that just kind of gives me a little edge. Be like, okay, she's disciplined, she might be organized, So that just gives me a little edge and a little nudge in the door.
How do people find you? Is it a matter of saying, okay, well, you market your services? I'm sure that's part of it. But are there people on the lookout for virtual assistants? Do you need to tell people, okay, well, I see what you're doing, but possibly you may need to use a virtual assistant that may help you in what it is you do?
Yeah, I definitely market myself on Instagram, Facebook. Shockingly enough, not a lot of people know what a virtual assistant is or what we do, especially in the Caribbean. outside the Caribbean, it is a norm. It's just like, having a receptionist. But in the Caribbean, it makes it a bit harder because I would, lack of a better term, we're a little backward, we're not really up to the time. So in the Caribbean, you have to market yourself a bit more to get the clients, to make them feel comfortable to say, okay, yes, I need help with email management and calendar management, and maybe I could use the services of a virtual assistant to help with that.
And what's some of the feedback that you get in terms of people who are finally saying, okay, well, yes, we're on board, we've engaged, and it's almost like eye-opening experiences?
Yeah, most of the time I get, where have you been all my life? Because they regain time that they didn't have, because as a solo entrepreneur, you do everything yourself. It's the core functions of your business, it's all your admin back end, you have to do CSR, you do everything for yourself. And when you have a virtual assistant to take some of those tasks off the plate, you can now focus on the core functions of your business. And you'll have a lot of business growth within that because you have the time to focus on it.
I want to talk about some of the other myths in terms of people saying, okay, well, I thought it was this, but then I realized it wasn't totally that. But we do that when we return from the break. We're speaking with the founder and CEO of Tiny Task Services, Nicole Regis-Roberts. Stay with us. We return with more. Welcome back. We are going in depth on the world of virtual assistants. We're doing this with the founder and CEO of Tiny Task Services, Nicole Regis-Roberts. And Nicole, just before we took the break, I was wondering some of the myths, some of the misconceptions that people have about virtual assistants, some that you may have had before you took that dive down the rabbit hole, like you said.
Yes. So one straight out the gate is that we only do admin work. There are so many different types of virtual assistants that deal with social media, accounting, marketing, real estate, simple bookkeeping that most businesses don't know how to do. So there's so many of types of virtual assistants. Another is confidentiality. A lot of people think, well, because we work remotely, that they can be over us to see, well, all right, she's not stealing anything or she's not stealing ideas. We are bound by our contracts. So we definitely, and as our reputation is what markets virtual assistants. So we cannot afford not to be confidential when it comes to that.
And that's just two, huh?
That's just two.
And I guess that also goes back to the idea that you're only as good as your last job. So your name is so important.
Exactly. Our name and our brand is important. That is what markets us more than anything.
Okay, and speaking about the brand though, how did you get the name Tiny Task Services? What's the rationale behind it?
Yeah. So with working with police officers, all the time they always have something to do. And I realize even within life that is the tiniest task, is the smallest thing that is never get done. Something else is always more important. So as simple as returning a phone call, returning an email, following up on a client, always seems to get pushed under the rug or always pushed aside. And if I could step in to help with that, probably they will have better client experience, better customer experience.
And I feel it's almost as though it's a level of customer service that is built into the role or the scope of work being a virtual assistant. I'm right with that?
Definitely, because we are helpers to a business. In most cases, most virtual assistants are the face of the business, because most of the time, if it is you email a client, most of the time it's not even them you're speaking to, it's the virtual assistant. So we have to have our customer service on point.
And you said that elsewhere there are a lot of virtual assistants. As a thing is so current, is trending, is a theme, is just almost as though people don't think about it anymore. Have you ever had to have a kind of heart-to-heart with someone that you see struggling, someone that can do the work before they get to the point of where have you been all my life? Take me through those steps of that onboarding working out the contract, what it is they do, where it is people find you in the first place?
Definitely. So most of the time, I'm on Instagram mainly. So, and you would see a lot of businesses. Sometimes you will DM them to find out about their products, and it will take them like 3 to 5 business days before they even respond. Something as simple as responding to your customers, because if it is you don't respond in time, I would find it elsewhere, and you lose a customer like that. But when you have a virtual assistant that could be on the ball with certain things, at least within 24 hours, you get a response. And with that now, they would realize, okay, it looked like she could help out, you know, getting more customers, clients, at least they engage in more. And that's what you want for a business.
And moving, what are some of those things that you need to have in terms of saying to allow you to be able to do this? Is it that you need to look and see what is new software that is coming out, or you need to get better with the software that you're using? Well, I'm sure the internet is one of the things that you're using. So what are some of those tools of your virtual assistant trade?
Definitely good working internet and a proper working laptop. You could even work from your phone. Softwares, you need to stay current as a virtual assistant. You need to stay current with your softwares, because when more clients come in, you would have more tasks and different tasks for different clients. So definitely you'll need like a CRM, like a customer representative management software. You need a software to onboard your clients, so you wouldn't have to be sending an email to same email to different clients all the time. There are softwares for that. There are softwares to store passwords and contact information. So you have to stay current with your software. The only limitation is that some of the software that most businesses would really need and benefit from are not available in the Caribbean. Yes, they are not available. There's definitely one Honeybook. They are the best when it comes to onboarding clients. So they automate everything for you. So as fast as a client gets into your website and is interested, from the first email to the welcome packet, it sends everything automated for the client without you having to do anything. But it's not available here.
Pressure. But
Yeah,
if you, Nicole, had a virtual assistant, what would that person be handling for you?
definitely social media. I hate it. I hate it. Content creation is a struggle. I am not creative at all. I don't like it. So
And get,
definitely a social media virtual assistant.
okay. And getting, because you spoke about the substantive, and yes, you spoke about the hours that you'd work as a virtual assistant. How is it that you would get some of these things done? Are there things that need to be kind of done during the day? And who do you find is your main source of clientele at this point in time?
Definitely entrepreneurs who are service providers, small entrepreneurs. Um, I would not, because I'm still full-time at my job, I wouldn't venture out into medium or large companies. But for right now, small entrepreneurs, small businesses, even single moms, I have a lot of individuals who just want to register their business or get their birth certificate. They don't even know how to apply for the appointment for their ID card, and I deal with all these services. Simple. I even do divorce applications because I did mine myself. So
Lord Father, Nicole, I get from this already.
yes.
So literally building that experience and that capacity up to be able to offer it as a service. And do you find some people being kind of nervous about it, in the sense that they, all right, well, I don't like internet, I'm not too sure about the email, but I have to get these things done and they're happening virtually. Do you take them through that process as well? Okay, well, you need this, let me help you with that.
Definitely. It's always a step by step. I always follow up with all my clients. I let them know, hey, I'm going into your email now. So if you see any movement, it's me. I let them know when tasks are done. If I do any follow up with any of their customers, if an email is to be sent, I make sure and follow up and guide them step by step so they will feel comfortable and know that nothing shady is going on in the background, because that's what a lot of people scared about, because to give out your email address and password, you have to have that level of trust with the person you're working with.
Most definitely. And one of the things that you, in terms of saying that, yes, there's that level of trust, but also I think there may be a level of efficiency. So it's not as though, okay, well, I'm going to be there for 7 days and these are the things that should be done if they pop up inside. Is definitely task by task, making sure, okay, well, these are the indicators and it's right there to see whether or not the work is being done or is not being done. Do you find that helps you be within yourself, be a little more efficient, helping that client to be more efficient?
Yeah, definitely. That one of the conversations we definitely have before we start working together, what it is exactly you need from me. What does you have issues or have problems with completing for yourself? And we itemize each task solely by itself, so we know, okay, email management will be done probably like 3 times for the week. If you have anything urgent, feel free to contact me and let me know if anything needs to be done. And as I said, it's something where it's flexible. So if you know it doesn't have too much to do, I have retainer packages. So you could have me for like 10 hours for the month or 25 hours for the month. And that is how I would work for my clients. If you have constant work, you'll know you'll have to take a bigger package where I would be basically online with you almost throughout the day.
And that is a very different sort of situation to somebody who has a brick and mortar and saying, okay, well, this person needs to be there. It might not have anything to do at that point in time because the work is a little light, but then you're just looking at the person and saying, okay, well, at the end of the week or the end of the day or the end of the month, there's this portion of money that is supposed to be given to them.
Exactly. So that's why I said virtual assistants caters for small businesses and entrepreneurs, because now you wouldn't have to hire an in-house employee to deal with your admin, because you may not have so much to do where you need somebody to be looking at them every day, and you would just need, hey, I need this letter typed up, could you do it for me? And I will just start the timer, complete your task, and send it over to you. So it definitely saves small businesses money where they can get their tasks done on time and wouldn't have to come out of pocket too much.
All right, and we want to thank you for that, Nicole Regis-Roberts, founder, CEO of Tiny Task Services. And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, we want to thank you. This has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. Thank you for joining us.